today, Monday, the 13th day of the month of June 2022. June is a very special month anyway. Welcome. My name is Sijama Uche. Do stand by for newspaper review. Okay, welcome again. This morning, I have a guest that has joined me to look at what the papers are saying, and he is Chuka. Am I right?
Yeah, you're
okay, right. Chuka Uzezie, a public affairs analyst. Good morning, Chuka.
Good morning, Nije, and viewers, you are welcome.
Okay, welcome. As usual, we begin from the beginning, which is from our website, ABS Radio TV. Okay, the first story there says, endoscopy unit of General Hospital Onitsha commences full operations. 2022 Democracy Day, Mrs. Soludo asks Nigerians to uphold national unity, tolerance. Jonapod holds prayer summit against insecurity in Anambra, Nigeria at Abagana Njikoka local government area. And then Anambra state government restores peace among factions in Nkwele Zunaka community, Oyi Council area. These and many more are the stories you'll find in our website, www.absradiotv.com. Okay, Democracy Day. It was yesterday, as we very much know, that it was moved from May 29 to June 12. Perhaps to appease the soul of MKO Abiola and then pacify the Yorubas in their quest for justice. So far, how has it fared? This is the 4th year in June.
Oh yeah, well, I think if you have followed most of the dailies or the mainstream media, yesterday a lot of people, especially the rulers, I won't call them leaders, have been espousing different ideals about democracy, unity, fairness, justice, etc., etc. And then the question still remains, are they really living what they preach? It's not just important, the name is important as the subject, because giving life to that occasion, that day, is more important than just making a provision for such commemoration. What are the ideals that MKO lived and died for? Have we really entrenched that, especially in government and governance? So most of the people, starting from the president down to the least person in position of authority, how far have they gone with ensuring that democracy thrived in their sphere of leadership? So especially if you just saw what happened amongst the major political parties, the two major political parties, where we are preaching democracy, we are preaching equity, we are preaching fairness. How far have they treated every member of the society? Now what is ongoing is whether Muslim ticket, how is inconsequential once the two persons are credible fellows. It doesn't matter their religion. And the question is, if we want democracy and meritocracy, it should apply to everything. Fortunately or unfortunately, MKO flew the Muslim ticket, and it's still an issue now with APC. Ashwad Ahmed Bola Tinubu is a Muslim already from the south. Who is he going to pick from the north? If he's going to pick a northerner at all, Is he going to be a Christian Northerner or is he going to be a Muslim? And the argument will be, so in future it means we can have a Christian ticket. We can also have a traditionalist ticket. Because, you see, one thing is this. When it comes to religion, it seems as if it's only the Muslims and the Christians we have. We have other people of different spiritual or spirituality orientation. We don't even consider them. And that is exactly what happened. It came to the South. The equity of who has not been, equitably accommodated is the Southeast. So how far have these parties made provision for this equity and democratically distributing these leadership options? So I think it's high time we leave what we preach or we scrap all those things and we know that we are in survival of the fittest. And that is it. So I believe that as we continue to reflect at least we are still in the octave of the democracy day, and because we are in the election period, so I think let the principles of democracy, if we are really in a democracy, we should apply it across board in everything we do in this country.
But actually the Yorubas, the Westerners really fought for this June 12 recognition. Would you say they play better politics than other regions, especially your own region, that sometimes it appears they don't even know what you want or how to go about getting what you want, especially as it concerns this president of Southeast extraction that we all yearn for, and eventually it didn't come out from the big parties?
If the truth be told, every tribe have their peculiarities. The Igbos, I think, are the most tenacious people.
Before you continue, somebody else join us, let's see. Yeah, hello. Okay, go ahead. Okay,
the Igbos are the most tenacious people or group when it comes to ideals they believe in. You see, what the Igbos don't do is what the other says, so we have to trust the system first before you start fighting for it. Igbos don't go into a fight that they know they will never win.
You want to trust the system first? Are you going to create a world for yourself?
Not at all. Look at the way. Okay, let me put it this way. When it comes to, like they say, Igbos are not together in what they don't know what they want. Igbos are not good in building bridges. If you look at the politics of Nigeria over the time, you find that it's Igbos that always work with other people. Yes. But when it comes to their turn, yes, you might say that in-house, they are competitive. We are Republican in nature. But the issue is this. Who is willing to align with the Igbos? Nobody. But Igbos are always willing to align.
Why is it so? Why is it so?
It is our nature. We are democratic. We are more democratic than any of the groups.
Is it a case of not being trustworthy or not, or being, trustworthy? Why wouldn't anybody want to align with you?
It is their nature, and that is why today in Nigeria, you still find that the Igbos are the most accommodating people. We thrive everywhere we go in Nigeria because we believe in Nigeria by our actions.
I would have actually preferred maybe use the word that they are scared of you. Okay? Perhaps they feel inferior where you are.
I wouldn't like to say that because most times, most other people believe what they hear first before they act. But Igbos choose to experience first before they believe.
Okay. All right, let's move on. We're still going to talk more about the Democracy Day when we start opening the pages of the newspaper. Anambra State government restores peace among factions in the web. I would love to look at this number 2 story that said John Paul hosts prayer summit against insecurity in Anambra and Nigeria at Abagana, Njikoka local government area. Let's look at the specter of insecurity in the nation generally, and then by extension, Anambra State.
There's no gainsaying because when about 8 years ago, the American government listed Nigeria as one of a country ridden with terrorist groups, many people took offense. When the government of Buhari came on board, they refrain from calling this group of people terrorists. Rather, they choose to call them bandits and other soft names, headers, and this and that. So, and this gave impetus to other criminals to use the opportunity, because they now believe that government is inept, that government is even, complicit in this terrorism and criminality going on. And that's why it thrived. So I believe, like, we know that the primary responsibility of every government is security of lives and property of its citizens. Once they are not able to do that, it means that the center, that, polity is no more, what it is. So the only thing we can, because when Nigerians were choosing PMB, they believe he's a general, coming from that military background, that he is the right person to tackle the insecurity. And now, under his very watch, it has gone from bad to worse. And now the question is, who then, if not a general, can handle this kind of insecurity we are having now? So, and you find that also, given the rising issue of unemployment and poor, Nigeria being the capital of poverty, more and more people are moving into crime, and one step leads to another. You can also bear me witness that the issues of hard drugs have also soared high. And it is also on record that people on drugs are easily lured into banditry and terrorist or criminal acts. So I think there's a lot of work at hand. And I believe that apart from moral suasion, I think the spiritual angle to it is also one of the strategies that can work, because so many people can easily be touched when their spirituality is harnessed or influenced to bring them out as repentant maybe criminals or terrorists or bandits. So it is one of the strategies that can work, but we know that the onus and bulk of the work lies with the structures, government instruments, government institutions, especially the security agencies. And it will boil down to what most of the groups have been hammering on. The easiest way, I believe, to arrest insecurity is restructuring this country. When security and policing is domiciled with the people concerned, they find the most apt measure or strategy to secure or arrest insecurity in the environment. Because when this is done, community policing is something that has worked all over the world. So if we can resort to community policing so that people know your neighbor, it works.
It has been since people started asking for community policing. And what do you think government at the center doesn't want to give heed to that?
It is when people in politicians in democratic gap still behaves like emperors, because their ulterior motive is to use the security agencies to annihilate the people that are supposed to lead. That is why they don't want to allow state policing. They don't want to allow community policing, because it's like decentralizing this control of raw power. Mm-hmm. When we have state police, you find out that it becomes easy. If there's an upsurge in criminality, the state governor, as the chief security officer of the state, can call up for reserves. People that are in public service, in civil service, in traders, and other private enterprises can, be called up temporarily to arrest the situation. And then you find there will be security, and then people will go back and carry on with their normal lives. But when they want to control everything, so that once you agitate for one good thing or one of your right or the other, they can always do whatever they want and get away with it. Then they will insist they want to control it from the center. So, but if they decentralize, you find out it's very easy. All this is so you find out that sometimes we've had issues where communities in Enugu, in Benue State, even in Niger State, have information of an impending attack from bandits or terrorists. They will continue. They will call on government, call on the presidency, call on the military formations. They won't get help until this attack happens. And immediately after the attack, the military men and the police will come in to prevent them from reprisal. So that is it. So it means it's a calculated attempt by some set of people to put Nigeria in.
Okay, 1 second. Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, this is Chief Secondary speaking from Ghana.
Where are you calling from us? Calling us from? Hello, Chooks.
What I want to say is simple.
Chooks, where are you calling from? I didn't get your intro.
I'm calling from Ghana, please.
Ghana.
From Ghana,
It's
okay.
simple. When there is fire outbreak in Naonitsha, the Asaba people normally come to the aid of people in Anambra State. That is exactly how the security, if there is insecurity in Anambra, Enugu, if it is close to Enugu, they may assist. If it is close to Imo, they will assist. But the fear is that the Hausas believe that when there is such a thing, that Igbos will overpower them and dominate them. That is just the problem. But this time, we must try as much as we can to support PKB in whatever we are doing. Even if he fails, then let's support him first and see the outcome.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Sorry, I thought you have said thank you. All right, let's move on. Let's venture into the papers this morning. We'll have a whole lot of them here. But let's start from the first one here, which is the New National Star. The New National Star is our first paper this morning. But let's look at the stories under the name templates. INEC rejects Akpabio senatorial ticket claim. INEC rejects Akpabio senatorial Senate claim. And then Knox kudos as Nigeria celebrate Democracy Day with a rider there, Obi, Otomi, Ozekeme, Sani, others insist on credible polls. Okay, and the other one says suspected herders kill 11 in Benue State on Democracy Day. Killings. Okay, the banner headline there says 2023, again, Khan warns against Muslim ticket. 2023, again, Khan warns against Muslim ticket. And then beside that story, under that story, Abuja Kaduna train attack, 11 freed captives moved to Abuja, names released. Finally, from this National Star, we will ensure that 2023 elections are safe and secure. This one is coming from the President, Muhammadu Buhari. We will ensure that 2023 elections are safe and secure. Okay, we saw what happened there in, okay, let's take the next paper before we start talking. The next paper here is the Tribune newspaper. Nigerian Tribune is a next paper on top of the name template. Northeast favored to produce Tinubu's running mates. Northeast favored to produce Tinubu's running mates. And then Democracy Day, Nigerians must remain resilient, committed to democratic ideals, is coming from governors. Okay, but the banner headline there said, Owo attack, Southwest governors declare 3-day mourning. Owo attack, Southwest governors declare 3-day mourning. Okay, down here, Ekitipo, IGP deploys 4 AIGs, 3 CPs, mobile force commander. With the rider there, DIG Kolomo to lead them. Tension as APC, SDP supporters engage in bloody clash, even before the main election takes off. Campaign takes off. Okay, let's look at this banner headline here. Again, Khan warns 2023. Again, Khan warns against Muslim tickets. We just talked about it briefly, and that one is from the National Star. We talked about it briefly, but I want to look at this warning. Most of the problems that we see, we envisage in this country. People will come out and warn, and you have warned yesterday, you warned the other day, and nothing happened. They still went ahead and did what they wanted. Now, are you not going to change your strategy when you want to have something stopped? It's only just end on the table of warning and you go home sleeping.
Well, that is what happens when we don't have leaders, but we have rulers who continue to change the rules of the game to benefit them, especially when they are in power. But once they leave power, they find out that the evil they planted, surely they will reap of the fruits. Now, let me give you an instance. Personally, and as I have continued to advocate on many fora, if really we are in a democracy, a Muslim ticket should not be an issue. And that is why maybe Christians, given their disposition, didn't really see much wrong about Abiola's Muslim ticket. But after the experience we've had as a nation from that point till now, it became an imperative. Because the issue is this: if our laws, if in our constitution, we enshrine things like, for instance, different cutoff for different zones. Somebody that scored 300 may not be able to get medicine in University of Maiduguri because it's not his catchment area. Mm-hmm. But somebody that scored 111 can still get the same medicine because he's from that area. And you abolish merit. You are doing quota. We even have federal character, commission, and we vote money from our budget to this, institution. And they have presence in every state to make sure that everybody is accommodated outside merit system. So if we are not using merit system like most democracies, because we are saying we are in a democracy, people will leave Nigeria, move to UK, move to US. Within a span of 10 years, they have become politicians in those, assuming public positions, elected positions. You go to America, Arnold Schwarzenegger left Austria to US in the 80s. He later became the governor of California. You can imagine. And yet we say we are practicing democracy here. So if we must define our own type of democracy that abolished meritocracy but is using quota system and federal character, then it should also reflect in tribes, in religion, and so on and so forth, gender, and so on and so forth. That is what we opted for. So like you said, the strategy is warning, warning, warning. What else do you want CAN to do? You want them to threaten, which is even close to warning. You want them to demonstrate for something they're anticipating, or you want them to carry up arms like Islamic extremists. I don't know whether you're getting me. So they can only do what is permissible within the law as law-abiding group. Okay. So if not, we have anarchy immediately. So the truth remains that Nigeria needs referendum, not just on, political arrangement, but on so many things. Because the easiest way to drive an economy, if Nigeria is a business, do we use quota system to run a business? Do we use religion to run a business? And truly, if you want to prosper like businesses, we run Nigeria as a business. And that means, enthroning merit and meritocracy. I see.
Okay. Yesterday, the president went talking when he addressed the nation about because of the Democracy Day thing, and he said a lot of things, but one of the things that some of us took home was his assurance that 2023 elections will be safe and secure. How do you assess that?
Well, one thing I'm sure, given the current movement going on in Nigeria, although many mainstream politicians are claiming that it is not, it is just online movement. And just like NSAS, we see it move from online to offline. Nigerians will vote, even if the mainstream political parties are going to import all the machineries in West Africa and the whole world into Nigeria. The population they will see on the day of voting. In fact, the people I'm having pity for is INEC. I wonder whether INEC will be ready for the heavy turnout we're going to experience this coming election. So whether he promises us security, has been promising, the president, Mr. President has been promising us security. And what do we get in security? How are we supposed to believe in now? But the issue is that the people have been pushed to the wall, and they are now resolute that whatever comes, that they must vote, and their vote must count. So that's
okay, talking about INEC, if INEC see what is going on now, will it not be enough for them to prepare? At least they have seen the kind of surge in voter registration exercise. It's enough to tell them that this is the problem. I mean, the problem that they will face during the election proper, and they still have time to make everything good.
I tell you something. INEC have one of the most professional staff in the whole of the country. They have experienced, that's staff with the right capability to achieve anything they want to achieve. But the issue is the issue of corruption. One, the issue of partisanship.
Corruption in INEC.
Yes.
Corruption in INEC.
Of course, no. In fact, it's difficult. Like the magazine says, that it's difficult for a fish to
survive outside water.
To claim not to know anything about water. The same thing I tell you about Nigeria. It's difficult to live in Nigeria without succumbing.
1 minute, somebody has joined us. Yeah, hello, good morning, sir. Okay, sorry, the call has dropped. Go on.
Without succumbing to corruption. It will take divine, grace and prowess to escape being corrupt in one way or the other. So that is the problem of many people find themselves in Nigeria. You might try to be upright, but one day will come when you will be corrupt at least a little bit. So that is the problem. When you are not well paid, when you are not sure of the security of your children or the future.
Yeah, hello, good morning. Okay, go ahead.
So that is it. And then the way things go in Nigeria, most of the politicians will use the opportunity to plant people ahead of time who will help them.
In INEC?
Yes, of course, it happens now. Some people are even in INEC and in retainership of many politicians. They give them, they are part of their strategic.
I don't want to say what I envisage in this coming election, but I think if you are an officer or INEC personnel, you should just be very careful, because this wave, this movement from the youth that I'm seeing, I'm scared. I don't know whether you are. I'm very, very scared about what the youth will do with this election.
Yeah, especially,
so I think we just have to be very careful.
Yeah, especially you see what happened. During EdSARS, most of the people even took the war from police station to barracks to the home of some officers, like what happened in Borakot.
Okay. Yeah, hello. Good morning. Good morning. Bring it down. Hello. Please, before you call us, you turn down the volume on your TV set, turn it down, or possibly just put it off with a mute, with a remote control, so that we'll be able to have a good discussion. Okay, let's move on. That's about the assurance of the president. We will ensure that 2023 election will be safe and secure. That's coming from the president. Okay, we saw the story that Owo attack Southwest governor declared a 3-day mourning after how many days that it happened. Okay.
You see, first and foremost, my sincere, heart goes to the families of the victims of the Owo attack. I believe that God will grant them the fortitude to bear the loss.
Amen.
The truth is this. Sometimes the way leaders, in fact, it's not leaders, the way rulers, behave in our country is terrible.
Is anybody here?
Up to this point, you can't even be sure the number of people who die. Why? It is the easiest thing. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome.
Are you Chinonso calling from Ilorin, Kwara State?
Okay.
Chinonso from Ilorin. Go on.
Concerning what the president said yesterday, that he's promising security and whatever, is he trying to say that there is no insecurity in the land or what? Because I don't get him saying that he's
assuring security during the voting time. Does that mean there is no security in Nigeria or what? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Is there security or no security? It is actually. But the president has been complaining too that he's worried, he's having sleepless nights about the spate of insecurity in Nigeria.
Even know all the front pages of all the newspapers have insecurity, multiple insecurity captions. So it is begging the question. Okay. The issue, like I said, remains that if you ask the parish priest of that St. Francis parish, they will just give you the figure of number of casualties, the number of people who are dead, and the number of people who are still in the hospital.
So why do you think they're playing politics with this?
It's
governments will bring their own figure, the church will bring their own figure.
No, what I'm saying is that the church has not even given figure, because from the people living there will tell you, nobody will give you any figure. Anybody on ground there will give you any figure less than 70. Oh. But search all the mainstream media. You find out you have control there. Nobody has given any figure above 50. Does it mean we don't have investigative journalism anymore? You put a call across to people concerned and they give you the facts.
And if you investigate and you're not allowed to publish? Yeah, hello. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I am Comrade Martin from Niger State.
Welcome, sir. How are you?
I am fine.
Okay, sir.
I am wishing all of us happy Democracy Day.
God bless you.
We wish you the same.
I want to comment on this issue of Muslim etiquette. And I want to say that even all the Christians, right from the inception of independence, going to the parliament, they have refused it. Why did they recite Sharia law in our constitution when it is not only Muslim country? If it had been Muslim country, then they should be operating a Sharia law. So that the Sharia law is supposed to be out because we are secular nation and then we don't. So that is one. So in Iran, not only today, it has been from the injection. And that is why the Christians they need to wake up from their slumber. Because now that they have been tied us, and they see that we only back and back, but we cannot buy. So we know we cannot go into carrying the weapons or like the Islamic and we cannot go on rampage. But most of those that we are sending to the National Assembly, they go there on their own interest and to look for money. So we have to be very careful and especially Christians. But this time around, if they try us, we should make a way to receive something and not just be talking. I love Bishop Kuka, he will talk, but when he talks, how many Christians, how many of our so-called bishops and all that are supporting him? And then we always leave him to the battle alone. Okay. So, and then more importantly, we just have to continue to pray. I know that our God is answering God that teaches and answers the prayer. So that is just my submission this morning.
Okay. Thank you.
Our people should go. If the secular state, they should continue to see that that Sharia law is removed. You know, those of Christians, they are even trying to impart the teaching of hijab in our constitution, which is not to the taste of all women in the country. So, thank you so much.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, Marty from Niger State. Okay, let's move on so that we'll be able to beat time. The Leadership newspaper is our next paper this morning. Under the front banner headline, they said, as Buhari's administration winds down in 11 months, Nigeria still grapples with terrorism, kidnappings, and killings. As Buhari administration winds down in 11 months, Nigeria still grapples with terrorism, kidnappings, and the killings. Okay, and then beside there I have this story, Nigeria's democracy is growing. This one is coming from Osibanjo, that's the vice president. And SERAP asks flag bearers to publish assets, reject vote buying. SERAP asks flag bearers to publish assets, reject vote buying. Okay, we have talked about insecurity. Let's look at this publishing of asset that SERAP is asking of. But not before we look at the Nation's newspaper. Nation's newspaper, Southwest Governor Straw Battle Plan Against Terrorists. Okay, that's their banner headline with a rider there, with some riders there. Owo church killings ignite action. 3 days a mourning for Owo victims. Okada riders influx to be curtailed. Okay. And on top of the name template, I have gunmen kill 11 in Benue community. A whole lot of killings, even as we are gearing up for the 2023 elections. Okay, Punch is our next paper. The paper seems to be talking about the same things, but let's see if we can get something different from Punch newspaper. Okay, APC may unveil Tinubu's running mate Wednesday. Party focuses on Northeast. APC may unveil Tinubu's running mate Wednesday. Party focuses on Northeast. Okay, let's look at the riders. Party won over Muslim ticket. Who won? Party won over Muslim ticket. Majority leader says no cause for alarm even if you pick Muslim ticket. And then VP should come from Northeast. Governors focusing on the zone. Ado Dogowa, lawmaker. APC may concede Senate president to Southeast. Speaker to Northwest. May concede. After taking the president and taking VP, they may concede. Okay. There's a story that I want us to look at first. That's the SERAP asking the contestants to publish their assets.
The very situation of SERAP making for this demand shows that our constitution or our laws have lost its bite. Because I know that we have a code of conduct bureau, which one of the requirements for every public officer is to fill up a form for all the assets before they assume their position or within a stipulated time after assuming any public office. It is a constitutional requirement that once you assume any public office, that you are supposed to make your assets public. There's a declaration, asset declaration form that you're supposed to fill and submit to Code of Conduct, which will be reassessed at the point of your exiting that position also. So why is SERAP making this demand? Because they know that there's a blatant flouting of this provision, that the law actually is not working. So that is why they are now making this demand.
Why is the law not working? Are we now in Banana Republic?
Of course.
Really?
Yes, worse than Banana Republic. The issue is this, but the good thing is this. The ordinary Nigerians have risen up to the occasion to take back the country for themselves. And just like the issue of Muslim ticket, no problem. How many people are of the APC party? It's because people don't come out to vote. If you look at the figures of last election and the election before that, the total number of voters do not exceed maybe 32 million. It's less than 32 million. But I will tell you this time around that you have over 100 million voters this time around. And there's no way they can rig the outcome when people really vote. So if you have Muslim ticket, Muslims will vote at ordinary Nigerians who are Muslims. We know, we see injustice in Muslim ticket, and we vote against it.
You're giving the message.
If you give a Christian ticket, Christians, ordinary Nigerians who are Christians, will vote against it, because these are things that are creating this inequity, injustice, and unfairness in the country. And Nigerians are tired of that, because these politicians are using divisive means to keep the masses fighting each other while they stay at the top and continue to, feed on our common patrimony. Now, look at it. APC was not able to zone the presidency to a particular zone. Now they are zoning the vice president to a particular zone. And now they're saying, may zone Senate president, may zone. This one, they are sure they're going to zone it to Northeast.
But this other one.
But and they are even trying to converse for the reasons they're going to make it a Muslim ticket. But you see, people thinking just for themselves alone. So Nigerians are watching you. We are going to counter it. We ordinary Nigerians, we counter all these things this time around.
Okay. All right. I think we still have to look at this one before we move on. That's from leadership. Nigeria still grapples with terrorism, kidnapping, killings. Because I just look at the riders that said 913 killed, 265 abducted in 421 attacks just last month in 1 month. Okay, that's coming from a report. And then 30 wedding guests kidnapped in Sokoto, 11 killed in Benue. And then Southwest governors revisit state police to strengthen Amotokun. We have done a lot to tackle challenges. And this one is coming from the defense minister. If you have done a lot to tackle security challenges and it is growing by the day, Osiba just said that democracy is growing. I wonder whether it was a mistake because I think this security is growing faster than our democracy. Okay, so if you have done all this and we still have this kind of insecurity in the country, does it mean that you don't know what's next to do? That we are left to our fate?
One thing we know is that insecurity thrives where there is no leadership. That is the truth. So we know it is during this leadership or this dispensation that we start hearing presidency instead of the president. If something of great import happens that affects the people negatively, when the president manages to face the press and he's asked about it, he will tell you that he's not aware. But these are issues that the presidencies are giving, made some, publications or issued some, position on, and now the president is not aware about it. So it reflects the very fact that we don't have leadership, both in the military, both in the police, both the political, and even most of our institutions. There's lack of leadership. What they have is rulership, and in rulership, what they are only interested in is their own comfort and way to subdue the members. So that is what is going on in Nigeria. But as we are now sure that all the ordinary citizens have been pressed to the wall, there's nowhere to go again. They are coming forward, and this time demanding that Nigeria must work. Nigeria still have more than enough to put us on the right track. Yes. Now, Nigeria is not lacking anything. In fact, the pandemic proved it.
Okay.
The pandemic proved that even without any much economic activity going on in Nigeria, Nigerians were able to thrive somehow. So if we had the right leader, I tell you that Nigeria can, catch up on all the lost years, all the low-cost years.
Okay. Thank you very much. I would like to thank you by telling you that this is where we are dropping it this morning to enable us catch up with other things we have lined up this morning. I've been around with Ikem Uzeze.
Actually.
Okay, Chuka. Sorry, I'm missing the name.
Thank you, IJ, and viewers. It's a pleasure.
Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Tijama. Do stand by for other programs we have for you this morning.